Ladies and gentlemen, right now it is May 27th, and I'm going to be start recording the Ridge amplifier. The Ridge amplifier is another amplifier I should up to date with what I'm currently doing. However, this particular Ridge amplifier is going to be a lot more expensive than my previous design. So to keep that in mind, if you wish to use my previous design, you can choose to do so and there should be no problem. Alright, another thing to note is that I still, as of right now, I haven't released a hill amplifier because it is May 27th, but I'm hoping I will release a hill amplifier by the time I've already started recording this particular amplifier. Alright, so far the testing for that has been really good, so I'm happy with that. Now with the Ridge amplifier over here, it's going to be rather, hopefully it's going to be a little bit complex in how to build this because there's going to be this lomber shield, there's going to be this particular block off, and yeah. But let's just go over everything quickly before I go ahead and tear down everything. Another thing to note as well is that I've changed the Devil North design over here. So there's a nice ass tunnel over here, as you can see, and they're going to be chain launching them towards the north side over there. And I don't have the ass coming up from behind over here because I don't need to anymore once I had this over here, right? So I changed the design over here, and the picture updates will be for the Devil North, and then I will give a full Devil build once I finish the Ridge and the Hill amplifiers. Alright, so with that in mind, I'm going to start with the Ridge. So with the Ridge, you're going to be a spawn over here, here, and some up here, and some up here. And the goal is for me to path them all the way towards the west side over here. Excuse me. Once I path them all the way toward the west side over here, and then I will proceed to launch them towards the west. Alright, and we'll launch them towards the west over here, right? You can either launch them straight down over here, or this will be a chain launch right over here, which then will drop them down. Either way, in the end, what I do want to do with this is that to get all the husks, just like previously, down over here. Once the husks are down over here, right, and then they'll take this extremely long pathing over here. And once they do this extremely long pathing over here, there's going to be a nice little prison area which they'll be continuously recycled over and over again, and they'll be trapped down here, which is exactly what I want. Once they get trapped down here, and they'll be a very, very stable build. They don't have to worry about anything. Alright, even if the durability of those traps run out, I still have the recycler over here, right? So I still have this recycler over here, which when they get launched, they'll still take a very long pathing. Right, so that is why I still think this is a very good build, even when excuse me, even when your durability is low over here in this area, with even if you have the highest durability possible. Alright. Okay, so that is pretty much the goal for that, but in order to do that, we're going to need to do a interesting lava bomb shift over here, right? So there's going to be a lava bomb shift over here, which is a little bit more complex than my previous design, right? And there's going to be layering over here. The layering on the east side from my testing has remained exactly the same as previously, meaning that I did not need to add any more additional layers, which is good. However, for the front over here, I do need to add additional layers, right? Particularly on these walls over here, I need to have additional layers over there so that the husks can successfully path all the way towards the west, taking the long way. Right, and the reason why I need more layering is because there's going to be one tile more south than normal, right? As you can see over here on this battery, so if we go on the battery over here, this is where the husks want to path, right? So this is the natural pathing of the husks to try to get over here, right? And normally it would be from this position, from over here, right? So normally it'd be from over here, they can path, but I'm actually moving away from that position now, right? Using this edited stair. Right, so I'm using this edited stair to move away from that position, so it'll be a longer pathway. Longer pathway means more layering, right? As you can see, 3 wall launchers over here, and that's all we really need to recycle the husks, because we're not expecting husks to come back over here unless all the traps are there ran out. Okay. Now this wall light is just a little emergency in case that somehow a husk does make it over here, because if a husk does successfully make it over on this edited stair, there is a chance that it can break. However, this is designed so that no husk would ever no husk would ever actually come over here. If we're expecting no husk to come over here, then we can path wherever we want. It doesn't have to be over zero space over here. It can be pathing on no space. So sorry, you can be pathing on a little tile over here, which is okay, as long as you're not expecting any husk to go over there, which is kind of a similar design which I had for the north, right, which is not the best design, but it's the double north, and this is the best I came up with. Where I'm using this slant over here, it's kind of like just lowering the husk over here, because I'm not expecting husk to come on the slant, right? I'm not expecting them at all to come on the slant. So that is kind of like the similar idea, except in this case it's going to be much better, because by when they get launched, they're going to get stuck down there, so I don't have to worry about anything after that. Okay, so with that in mind, there's also one more thing I need to talk about, which is the amplifier design. So this is a particular amplifier design I've been doing to make the mini boss dance, right? So the mini boss would come in here and start dancing just like this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, if in the event that the mini boss does not dance, instead teleports, right? The teleport should be in over here somewhere. I think the teleport should be in this spot over here, which they could do a loop teleport where they teleport back here, back and forth, or they do a teleport successfully and they just path all the way around, which is either way okay. So this is one of the ridge designs where you need to really play around with the mini boss dancing and the teleporting, right? So you have to play around with both of them and just keep testing it until you figure out one that really works. And this is the one that's been working for me, and I think it could be working for you too if you follow this guide. Alright, I did a lot of talking and not really much building, but there's one more thing I should talk about, which I just said one more thing, and this is the lobber shield. The lobber shield is massive, as you can see. It is a very massive lobber shield, and you do really need it this big. Alright. So the southwest, you do need it in those spots over there to be really big. Now this particular lobber shield design I changed slightly from previously, because I did notice on wave 26 particularly, sometimes the lobbers did lob, right? They sometimes did lob from here, from a previous design. So what I've done is just move the lobber shield just one tile lower, and that seems to stop all the lobbing even on wave 26. Alright. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and start building. Oh, actually, one more thing before I start building. Now, there's going to be some assassin husks that come, right? So assassin husks are just husks that target you. So if you're standing, for example, over, let's say if you're standing over here, right? And these assassin husks are going to be trying to come in towards you, right? So you need to ensure that everything over here can path towards you, right? And they don't get stuck, right? Depending on what kind of build you're using for the the pit amplifier, you may need to do some adjustments for that, right? For this particular one, I'm okay with, right? This one I'm okay with. Oh yeah, and I moved some tiles over there, and it seems to be working, right? That's for a pit, sorry. But yeah, that is something you need to keep in mind as the assassin husks to make sure that they can pass successfully over. So what I did is that if they land over, let's say if they land down here, right, which they can drop down, and then they'll path all the way over through my lava design over here, right, and they'll just path all the way back up, right. And these are the wall lights over here, which I keep just to make sure they're not banging on these walls for the assassin husks, right. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this ridge amplifier, right? And I'm going to go ahead and destroy everything and rebuild everything from scratch, and hopefully it should be a copy and paste of everything. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we shall get banging. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And this is going to be approximately 335 structures in total to build this, right? So a little bit more expensive than what you might see in my lava. So lava is actually cheaper than this build, surprisingly. So yeah, so this is going to be a very expensive ridge build. However, so far it's been very good, right? Especially for wave 22 and wave 26, which is the most dangerous waves. Alright. And the first thing I think I want to do is start with the amplifier design, right? So the amplifier design is trying to take advantage of this battery, right? So this battery is what's really the husks want to go for. And the mini bosses are going to try to target these two walls over here and over here, right? And how I'm going to try to exploit the mini bosses so that they'll try to target these walls instead, right? One of these walls. But I'm going to try to make sure that they target the very far side, and this is how I'm going to glitch them. Try to target the far side over here, right? And I have this little thing over here so it won't actually get to the wall, right? It's blocking it's in the way. And then I think how I did it is that I have the walls over here, right? So they can't, so if they try to do a U-turn over here, it's going to be longer pathing. Same thing over here. They did a U-turn all the way around. It's going to be longer pathing, right? And the target priority is still going to be over here. This is still the wall that they want to beat on. All right. Let me get this over here. All right. So this is still the priority wall that they want to beat on, as long as I don't have these walls over here, right? As long as I don't have these walls over here, jump in place, that is going to be the priority wall, right? So. And then I'm going to keep building even more, right? So how I did this over here is I think I put walls all surrounding it like this, or like that, right? So keep putting walls all surround that. And then I'm going to do this, and this is going to act as an additional layer to prevent them from going behind. All right. And I have a roof top like this. Whoops. I have a roof like that. I think that is part of the design. Let me check. I'm probably missing a wall. Let me cheat because I like cheating. And no, it seems like that's actually it. I think that's it. Yep. Looking at the wall. Oh, I actually don't have this over here. I don't have that wall. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the amplifier design. Now, it is really critical that you have this wall in particular. Right? If you don't have this wall, the husk aggro might go crazy. Same thing with the roof. Husk aggro might go crazy. And yes, that should be the design. Okay. So, copy that design. You should be good. Now, we're gonna... excuse me. My goodness, I just ate... so we're gonna have to make sure we create a block off, and I'm gonna do the easy block off first, which is this part. This is actually the easy block off in my opinion over here. So we're gonna do this block off first, right? So try to get them towards the west. And the block off is gonna start off with these floors, because if you put walls over here, this can't get destroyed by a rare spawn. So I'm gonna put those floors and put healing gas traps over here. Healing gas, and then just layer it up. Layer it up, walls over here, flat floors, slants, and then walls all surrounding that over here. Or instead I can actually put the wall over here, that's also fine, it'll be the same layering. Alright, and then start layering it up like this. And keep putting that layers down. So I put the layers just like this. So you can see how I'm just like covering it up. So I just like go box that all the way around and then slant that across like that. And make sure you have that slants over here. All that across, right? So we're just kind of just wrapping things layer by layer, right? Just keep wrapping the layers exactly as you see it here, right? Just keep wrapping it up, right? And we're gonna wrap this up like this, right? So you see that I'm trying to wrap that up, right? These two tiles would act as two additional layers over there. I think I have something like this. And slant that. And I think I have walls surrounding that too. Whoops. So yeah. So you can see, you just keep wrapping it around, right? Everything's wrapping each other like a big hug. And just keep wrapping it around. Wall that over here. And then slant that. So I could probably do this, or I could probably do this. I don't think it really matters. And then get a cute wraparound. Now technically you may need a layer over here, but however, because this is going away from the amplifier towards the east, you don't need this layer over here. And then just keep wrapping around. Just wrap it around like a big hug. Keep wrapping it around. As you can see, every layer has been just fully wrapped around and closed, just like that. And then do a little finishing off with this layer over here. Now I could try to wrap it around just like that, right? But instead, I'm actually just going to wrap it around just like this, right? Because I know I'm going to have some layers over here in this area, which is going to also be enough for this. Okay. So what do? We just built a bunch of layers over here, right? Fully wrapping around everything, right? Layer it up, and just keep wrapping up those layers. And let me double check with my screenshot, right? Because I just wanted to make sure I have everything. And yep, it looks like everything's in check. Looks like everything's in check. Let me go over here. And there's 5 of those sandwiches over there. Let me check the screenshot. Ooh, I only have 3 of them actually. Oh, okay, so I actually don't need as many as I thought. Let's see. Yep. Okay. So actually, I don't need these one. This one, this one, this one, this one, and that's it. That's all the ones I needed. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's all the layering we need. Right. Just over here. So just those 3 sandwiches. And yep. Okay, so I think that should be pretty clear. You just keep wrapping it up as much as you can. Alright. And then for this layer, I'm going to go ahead and start layering this up. Now, unlike my previous video, this is actually going to be really critical. I don't know what patch did this, but we need to make sure we're not using these kind of slants over here, or these kind of slants over here, all the way across, right? Because for some reason on this edge tile, for some reason on these edges, the flingers seem to be able to hit these, right? I don't know why. They seem to be able to hit these, or seem to be able to hit these, right? It seems really, really odd. So, but what I did notice is that if you just let them as the stairs, or the stair edit, they don't hit them anymore. Really odd. Really odd. So I'm going to have to leave those as stair edits. You can see, just layer it up. Right, so that's just standard layering procedure over there. Wall slant, wall slant, wall slant. Right, very standard layering procedure. Okay, so that's what we have there. And we're gonna also have some layering over here too. All right, so the layering over here is gonna be flat floors all the way across like that. Right, so you can see I have flat floors all the way across, and this acts as 2 layers, right, for this area. There's also going to be one in here too, right? There's going to be one in here as well. Okay, and once we have that, we are going to pyramid everything, right? Pyramid everything like these, right? So wherever you plate the floor tile, you just place a pyramid on top. All right. With that in mind, I think I can also continue the layering procedure. All right. Then the layering procedure is we are going to put boxes around everything, just like this. Just put boxes, everything around this, right? The only exception to this is going to be this particular tile. We don't need to box this around, right? Just over here is okay. Box all the way around. And then this tile over here, we don't need the box for this, and this don't serve any purpose, so I'm gonna not need to put boxes around there. Okay. And if memory serves me right, I think I also have a slant in this corner. And I think I have a slant somewhere like here. But yeah, well, before I put that, just make sure you have all of this down. Alright, so make sure you have a layering just like this over here, right? With this flat floors, pyramids, and walls all surround it. And let me check my little cheat sheet. Alright, well, actually it's working good so far. Building exactly the way it's supposed to be. Alright, so let's carry on. Now, we are going to make sure we path them all the way over here, right? And this, our end goal is to get them all the way over here, right? With this kind of path. And this is our end goal over here. Okay, now if we assume, let's just assume for a second that this north side has the proper amount of layering to actually path them west, right? Just for now, let's assume that. All right, now if a tusk actually gets to this tile over here, we're going to need to go 2 tiles over here, right? Because this is going to be the shortest pathway. Right, this over here is going to be the shortest pathway for them to get to the amplifier. So we have to path 2 tiles south. Because of that, we're going to need 7 layers. So I'm going to build those 7 layers right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers over there? All right. And I think that should be okay. I might need 1 more if I want to be extra safe. I honestly don't really remember 100% though. Let's see. Let me check. Okay. I see what I did. Alright. So what I did over here actually is put this as a slant. Put walls all surround that. And put this as a slant. And put this as a slant over here. The wall. Yep, I think I had that. Alright, and this is the design I have for my picture right now, right, in my regular ridge amplifier. And it seems really odd in why I'm doing this particular layering in this area, right? So in this area it looks really odd why I'm doing the layering. And this actually has to do with the mini boss dancing because of this design over here, which I'm going to do. Which I did something like this over here. Let me just... Yeah, I think I was like this, and like that. Alright, it has to do with this particular design over here, the slant, slant, slant over there. Alright, and I want to ensure that this is counting as a block off over this land bridging, and so that they path all the way around. So that's why I'm actually designing it like this. So try to keep up with how I'm designing it over here. Alright. Okay, so with that in mind, I can carry on. Alright, so this is going to be, that's actually the hardest part of the block off in my opinion. And the second hardest part is this part. So this is going to be a lava bomb shift, and this lava bomb shift took me a little bit of experimenting. Let me try to see if I have a cheat sheet. Alright, to help guide me. So essentially what I'm going to do is put the walls all the way across over here and right over there. Put a half floor over here. This is the same half floor I use, for my other lava bomb shift, right? So I use a lava bomb shift, I think something like this. I also let's see, yeah, I think I use something like this, and then I have another floor tile somewhere over here. Right, but I'm going to change it. Oops, I'm going to change it to be this, right? So let me just stop moving. There we go. So we're going to do walls all around here, right? And then we do a lava bomb shift, right? And note that we're blocking this entire part off, right? I'm going to add more layers, right? But you'll see them. So make sure you have this. Okay, I'm going to add a flat floor over here and a half floor over here. And I think I may need a flat floor over here. I'm not entirely 100% certain, but I think I do because there is a lava bomb shift in this area over here. But I think I do need a flat floor here. Okay. And from there, we are going to just build our slants, right? So I'm going to do a little wrap around here. Just right over it like this, right? So something like this, just layer it up. And we're going to diagonally path the husk over here. And I do need this half floor over here, but they don't break the half floor, they just path diagonally over here, which is exactly what I want them to do. Alright. Put the wall over here, so I'm going to signify that, hey, they're blocked off over here. Right, there's a block off in here. let me just go nice storm. As you can see, there's a block off in there, and we're going to need to put on the slants, right? And the slants, from my testing, are actually part of the lava bomb shift, right? So these slants are very important to have in your in the lava bomb shift, right? So if you don't have the slants and it seems like they're destroying area, put the slants in there. It doesn't matter the tier of the material, just make sure you have the slants and walls all in there, right? And of course the floors. All right, so there's going to be one more additional layer, which is right over here. Okay, and I can't add additional layer by doing this, like for example, because this slant land bridges over here. Alright, and of course what I'd like to do is add some sound walls, so I'm going to do that. This is going to help a lot with the propanes. Right, and pretty much I'm just expecting the husk to diagonally path all the way over here. Right, and also sound wall here. Alright, and so the lava bomb landed in here, but you can also land in here, which won't destroy this floor tile, which is good. Alright, so we have the block offs done basically, which is really good. And that's actually the hardest part of this build, is getting the block offs correct. Once you have the block offs down, then the rest of this build should be fairly easy. Alright, so what we're going to do is build some of these half low walls over here. I'm going to build this over here. So this tile over here, I'm going to use a wall light and double reload triple impact. And all the wall launchers are going to be double reload triple impact as well. The first floor over here needs to be a wooden floor spike. So what I'm going to do is use my legacy ones, because I'm not expecting much usage in this area, right? But you can use whatever wooden floor spikes you got, right? It's not really a big deal. It's just if you have the legacy ones, then go for it, right? Which is like 0.01% of the players, but yeah. And then we have tar pits over here. And yeah, that is it for this area over here. Now keep in mind that we're gonna also do a little bit of smasher recycling. All right. So first, let me do that. So I think I put a floor over here, and this, and I'm gonna put a wooden floor spike. I think I put something like this, a little pole. And then I'm going to use the wall light. This is going to be 4 times impact wall light for the smasher recycling. Furthermore, we could also add some others over here. So I think what I would do is put this over here. And this is going to be 4 times impact wall light. Alright. And I think I'm gonna also have a little thingy over here, right? Which is gonna be, build that and put a flat floor on there, like a little rooftop. And what I want to do is build a system such that this wall launcher will kind of, let me just build it. It'll kind of land them over here. Right, it'll land them over here, and then I use a 3 times impact double reload floor launcher, right? And this one will hopefully launch them all the way over here, right? So this is kind of like what I'm trying to design, right? Which, ignoring the extra structures, this is what I'm trying to design. Is this wall launcher to launch them in here, and then launch them all the way down. Right. At the same time, these wall launchers, when they launch over, they won't launch all the way across. There'll be something blocking them, right? And then what I'm going to do is block them over here. Whoops. Is block them right over here. Let me remove that. Right, so what I'm trying to do is get this wall launcher here, chain launch them down here, and those wall launchers to launch them all the way straight down, right? And this over here is not needed. Oh wait, never mind, it is needed. Oh my, whoops. Alright, let me try that again. So we have this over here. Alright, let me try that again. Put that there. and this here. And I need to think about how the heck did I connect this over here. And I'm pretty sure there's a nice little way to do it. I think maybe you can try connecting over here. This could also be one option that could work. Or maybe over here. I think over here, actually. I think over here. Yeah, let's try that. And then we're gonna remove this. Everything should stay intact, so it looks good. Alright, so I'm gonna put that in that floor launcher. Alright, so this wall launcher launched them over here, floor launcher chain launched them down here, and the other two wall launchers will launch them straight down. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, so looking good so far. Okay, so with that in mind, we can move on. Alright, so let me continue over down here. Now there's gonna be what's making this build really amazing, like just from, like this part over here is already pretty good, right? It's already pretty good, but it's not really the best, right? Because there's still gonna be lots of husks over here. If they make it to the stair, then that's bad. So, what's gonna make this build from just good to great is a recycling system down here, right? And this is what's gonna really make this build awesome. All right. So we're gonna do a little bit here, and I'm gonna put a floor over here. So this is what I did so far, is built these walls and floors over here. All right, and this is part of the recycling system. I'm gonna put the walls over here, walls over here. Looking good so far. All right. Now the floors over here in the bottom, I'm going to use the low level wooden floor spikes because these are going to be used a ton, right? They're going to be constantly doing damage, and I need to make sure they're high durability. These up here, I also want this one to be wooden floor spike, and then these floor launchers, what I'm going to end up doing is pretty much exactly the same as my video, where I'm just going to be a little swoop, launch them over here. So the floor launchers I'm going to need are going to be extremely high durability for the still last, which is going to be these ones. This one, 4 times durability, single impact, single reload for those. And I'm going to need to have these, since they're single reloads, I need to have the wall launchers double reloads with the high durability as well. Okay. Now for this one over here, I think I'm gonna also use the double reloads over here. Excuse me. And then back here, I'm gonna use a tar pit with a wall launcher, double reload, triple impact. And down here, it's gonna be all 5 times durability, single reloads for all the biggest durability we need. And I'm going to use double reload, 4 times durability, the wall lights over here. Alright, so this is our recycling system, and it's really important that we have low impact, low knockback in here, especially the low knockback, because we don't want to launch them too far. We still want to launch them in this recycling system, and they can get chain launched and chain crowd controlled in our recycling system. So that's why we have that, and this should be actually a fairly good recycling system. Alright. So far so good, and that's pretty much the most of the build done. The only thing left to build, I think, is the lava shield, which is going to be kind of big, really big. All right, excuse me, and let me get out the cheat sheet for the lava shield just in case. All right, I have the cheat sheet. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to try to do is start building it. So the first thing I'm going to do is build this over here. So I'm going to start with this over here, which is part of the pathing, right? And I'm going to put 2 slants over here, just 2 slants like that, and then path it all the way up 2 more. So we have a little 2x3 over here as part of our lava shield as a base. Next, I'm going to build a 2x3 over here, just like this. Right, as you can see, 2x3 over here and a 2x3 over here, right? Next, I'm going to put a slant like that. This is very important. Right, so far so good. That's the lava shield done over here. Alright, so that's that part. And then I'm going to build the next part over here. Alright, so this is going to be really important. So you can see how I'm curving it over here, right? So this is going to be like slant over here, curve it up, and then curve it over here with the flat thingy over there. Right, and I'm going to connect this all the way across like this. Connect it 1, 2, 3. So you can see what I've done is built a 3x3 over here. So you can see that's all I've done is built a 3x3 over there, and that's a good solid base. Okay, now what I also need to do is build this over here all the way across, 3 across like that. So you can see I built it 3 across all the way up there from that slant, right? And what we're going to do is complete the lava shield, right? We're going to complete the lava shield by doing this, right? So we're going to complete the lava shield just like this. Just like this. Just complete the lava shield. Maximizing the surface area. Right, so you can see how I just completed it, right? I just completed it from that. Okay, now we are going to continue on building. And then I'm going to build this over here, the 2s over here, and I'm going to keep on building it until I reach a certain point, and that's right over here. Right? So you can see I built a 2x4 over there, ending right over there, right? So that part is ending over there. Okay, there's actually a little bit more layering over here I need, I just realized, but yeah, we'll get to that. Right, and build a lava shield over here, just like that. Great. And I'm going to build a flat floor, starting from here, going all the way across. Right. Do I need a flat floor here, actually? Yeah, I think I do, actually, because of that flinger that could be down here. So I'm going to build this flat floor all the way across like this. Right? So from that end all the way to that end, build a flat floor all the way across, right? And I'm really skeptical about this lava shield, right? As you can see, this is a massive lava shield so far. And this is because wave 22, lavas. So once we built that flat floor all the way across, we're going to build this across like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So we build 6 slants over here, right, on the very edge. Alright. Then one final little touch, which I don't know if I really need. This is just someone from my Discord saying that there's possibly a flinger spot from here. Possibly. I don't know if it's true. Right? But if it is possible, they would be able to fling from here. So, yeah. So that is just that for that particular spot. Yeah, although I can probably test it sometime and try to remove it and see if I ever get it, because I actually have never gotten that, even though someone on my Discord did mention it, but I honestly have never gotten it. So yeah, I'll try without it and see. Okay, so that is a lava shield so far. Now I did mention I'm missing a little bit of layering. Alright, so I'll explain that. Excuse me. Alright. So what I'm going to do is do kind of like similar to my previous design where I do a zigzag, right? So I'm going to zigzag this over here. Zigzag over here. Zigzag. Just like that. And then I'm going to build the slant over here. Whoops. So you can see I added that little sandwich in there, and I have these zigzags all the way across over here. And then in that zigzag, I'm going to do this. Right over here. As you can see, slant that over here, and then wall that over here. Okay. And then we're going to add a little bit more sandwich. Whoops. So you can see we added a little bit more sandwich in here. And I think I also have one more finishing touch over here as well. And I think that's it. That's it. Yeah, I think that's the layering. Okay. Just making sure everything's in place. And another thing to keep in mind too, which is a rather odd phenomenon which I experienced, is that if I'm gonna put this as wood, if you place walls over here, right? I remember doing this before, and the lobbers would actually lob and start destroying everything. Really odd. So yeah, don't put the structures too close to your amplifier over there. This over here, for my testing, seems to be working perfectly. Okay. Now the only question is how many structures I have left. 3, 4. Alright, so I have a little bit of structure left. And alright. There's probably something I'm missing. I don't know if I have that much structure left. So I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade everything, and we'll come back. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, I am just concluding upgrading to everything to tier 3. Just make sure you get these little inside floors over there. And just double check if all the floors in here are upgraded. Yep. Alright. Oh, I forgot this part. But yeah, essentially I actually remembered, what did I forget, is actually the gas traps under here. You need to make sure you have healing gas traps under here because assassin husks do hit on these, right? So I have gas traps all the way up to, I think here, or I think maybe even here. Yeah, I did have a gas trap over here too. Right, and in one of my picture updates I did remove some of them, but it seems like in this particular build I also still need them, so I just went ahead and just put them back on. It's not a big deal. Alright, let me just continue finishing upgrading everything here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back from a lot of testing. It's actually been over a week since I recorded the Ridge amplifier. Now the only changes I've done is pretty much this front part over here. So the front block off does require more layering. This is primarily for these smashers, right? The smashers, they actually do want to hit over here unless there is enough layering. So I've added this layering accordingly, right? So you can see with the walls, slants, and flat floors, right? And the flat floors, I'm going to use tire traps, and this would push the husk down over here. And then they're going to come all the way over here towards the diagonal pathing as usual. I've also added these half floor over here, right? So there's a half floor over here, and this is actually just to prevent the husk phasing with the what's it called, with the lobber, right? So sometimes if you don't have this half floor, what ends up happening, right, I'll do full floor, they're actually gonna do just phase through over here, right? And they start breaking the sound wall from behind, which is rather annoying. So yeah, I just put the half floor here, and it seems to prevent all the that phasing issues, right? So that is good. Now, as usual, right, under here there is a lava bomb shift, right? The flat floor, just make sure you have that, as my previous video, it should mention that already, right? And pretty much it should look something like this, and everything else has been exactly the same, right? I think maybe I had this over here and I changed it here, but I don't think this makes any difference. I think there's also one additional change, which is I added this over here. Or I'm sorry, I removed this. I used to have a pyramid over here. In my Discord server, someone said you can remove it and it seems to not cause any issues. I have done that and it does not cause any issues, so I kept it. Everything else over here, the little jail system over here has been exactly the same. yeah, I think that should be it for the ridge amplifier, all the changes. Alright, now I've done changes also the rest of my base. So you can see over here, for example, on the Assassin Husk, I have Devil North, right? This is what I have for the Devil North for the Assassin Husk, right? And pretty much all these are like 3 times wall launchers, right? 3 times impact, double reload wall launchers. Launch them all the way over here, and then 3 times reload, 3 times impact, double reload floor launchers. We'll launch them all the way out. Right, and that's pretty much what I have for the Assassin Husk over here in the Devil North. It's been working really good. As you can see, I removed the I used to have like some sort of weird pathing over here going all the way up, and I removed it, so which is good. All right, and I think next video I'm going to try to do a full circle around my Twine base, right, to look at the changes that I've done, right? There's actually some other things I've been testing, right? So I've been trying to see if I can do a damage build on a Wamp amplifier and the lava amplifier. And not because my previous builds weren't like good enough or anything. They're actually really good, very reliable. The only thing is that I want to see if I can do other kind of builds. Alright, so there's the lava amplifier. The lava amplifier over there, I'm doing a new build, and so far it's been working good, but I have to test more and more. This should actually save you structures, right? But this is totally optional doing these damage builds. In my opinion, they're not going to be as good as the no damage builds I had previously on my videos. And because, well, propane itself is a problem, right? So what I want to try to do is think of ways to cut costs on them and still be really effective, right? And you see lots of tire traps over here and freeze trap wall launchers, and this is kind of like getting the husk stuck in here. That's pretty much what's essentially what this is going to be doing. And actually I'm seeing a lot of people have been using this tactic too. It's actually very effective for getting husks delayed without actually using a recycling system, right? So it's kind of like a really nice way of doing it. But yeah, I'll be working on stuff like this, and I can probably also try to do builds that are not so reliant on these tire traps and freeze traps, right? You can also do other options too, but these have been very strong so far in combination with the other crowd control traps. Alright, but yeah, I'll do a full detour of my amplifiers. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and as always, have fun building.